Get in here. It is so much tea, I don't even know where to start. Anyway, this is Media Monday. Thank you for joining me. I am a former journalist turned media consultant. If you have a business or a brand, this video is for you. We are talking about the three things businesses, brands, influencers do when responding to a crisis. So, this is all about helping you get through this. All right, I like to sip tea because that is my thing. I'm a tea sipper. This is black tea because it's the morning time here. Again, I'm a former journalist. I've been in the industry for 18 years. I worked across national, local, and international news, worked up and down the East Coast, Baltimore, Atlanta, New York. That is just a little bit about my background. I worked on all types of stories. Let's jump into this topic though. All right, we're talking about this because one, we have seen the Target DEI stuff. The president that's in house right now is, I mean, every day it's a breaking news situation, and every day it is something else that we are responding to. And so, one, this is affecting consumers and brands. But I want to talk to you about if you are a brand and you find yourself having to respond to these situations. One, in crisis management, the news is happening fast. And so I totally get the one of responding just as fast as you hear it because it evokes emotion for your business and for the consumer. But I want to tell you the three things that I'm seeing that I want to kind of respond to. One is that we're responding way too soon. We are responding moments after the story comes out when we're not even really understanding the scope of the story on our business. And what I think is honestly, we gotta slow it down, bring it down a notch. If you were my client, I would be saying, hey, here is where we want to give a response, but understand that we are investigating the situation. We are aware that X, Y, and Z happened. Right now, we are looking at the situation to see how it is going to affect us and you. Right? One, that's taking the ownership that, hey, look, I know it's a lot, it's heavy, I'm acknowledging it, but I'm also kind of making you realize that, hey, I am going to look at this and respond accordingly. The pros on that is, look, you're addressing the situation. The cons is that people could want more information because they're actively going through it too. And so you do kind of have to find the balance. The other thing I'm going to say is giving too much or too little of the information. And when I say giving too much, you're over explaining in spaces that aren't relevant. This is not relevant to the story. You don't need to over explain here. You really have to lean into responding to what is accurate for your brand and the information that you know now. So listen, let me recap for you. One and two, don't respond too soon. Number two, don't give too much information or too little, right? Respond accurately based on the information that you have. The third thing I'm going to say, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. Don't respond from ego. This is about business, less about emotion. As a CEO, as a brand, as an influencer, as whoever you are that is offering a service or product to people, is that you were personally connected to this. And so I get how getting that news in that moment will feel like you have to say something right now. And you have to stand on the things that got you in your business. Listen, I'm not knocking it. Respond, but to your closest few. Think about it with your executives. Think about it with your peers. Think about it in a non formal way so that you can be actively, one, getting that emotion and frustration out, but you are doing it in a safe space. Don't respond from ego, it never goes well. We have watched CEOs jump up there and respond from their ego, and one, sometimes it comes off out of touch because a lot of times your CEO is not living in the consumer world and vice versa, right? Like, you really have to take a second, take a beat, and literally lean on your team. Express your emotions in whatever way you need to, and allow them to help you shape the story. Because we're getting lost in the minutia, we just shouldn't. We shouldn't be responding from ego. That's my thoughts. If you need help, I am available. I will have all my information below. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. See you next week. See you next Monday. And I'll come back with some more media tips.